Here's my isometric police station floor plan. As you may know, I had started to do a police station and decided that I would take that video down because it used somebody else's image, and I didn't have permission to move forward. So now I've created my own, and it's very simple. Just drew it up really quickly, and I've got some of the items that I'm thinking of keeping, and now I'm going to show you how I'm going to go about modeling this thing. Alright, so I brought the reference image in. I made it not selectable by just clicking here, choosing the arrow, and then unclicking that so I can't select it by accident. My 3D cursor right now is right there. I'm going to select here, and I'm going to come over here and just sort of click right about there, come back. And I'm going to start modeling this. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the walls. And here's how I've decided I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring in a plane. Okay, and there it is. And pull it up, look down from the top, go into edit mode at S, and I'm going to scale it down quite small. Okay, because I don't want my walls to be too thick. Also going to go into wireframe mode, and I've got my first section of the wall right there. Okay, I'm going to press Shift D to duplicate it, and I'm going to pull it up to about here. Alright, where I'm going to extrude my wall out. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy it out to here. Shift D, and I'm going to copy it out to here. This kind of thing. Now, what I'm eventually going to be doing is I'm going to be grabbing those, pressing F to make a face. Make sure I'm looking down. Here. F to make a face. These two. And those two. F to make a face. I'm going to have to come back and grab those. So I'll just box select them. Shift D. Pull it up to here. And I'm just going to keep doing it like this. It'll take a little while. And, you know, this is a piece that's inside the room, so Shift D. I'm going to come down to about there. Then we can come back and box select there. B, box select these ones. F to make a face. I'll just grab these again. So there's a window here, so there's an opening, but I think I'm going to do that piece later. But this piece and this piece I want to line up perfectly. So I'm going to come up to my snap tool. I'm going to choose vertex. And with this one selected, I'm going to drag in the X direction, hold down Control to activate the snap, and hover over there. Right, so now I can take those two, box select those two, F, and I'll do the same over here. F. And come up here, box select these, and box select those, F. Let's just have a look at what I'm getting. Alright. I'm going to box select these. I'll stay in solid view for the moment. Shift D, come out to here. Shift D to here. Just tracing my way around. I can go ahead and make a face. Grab this. Let's see. I may go ahead and just plow right through wherever I want my openings and cut them out later on. So this one I'm going to pull up, but I want it in line with this one, so I'm going to pull in the Y, hold down Control, and snap it. Those. those two and those two. Those two and those two, F. Those two and those two, F. Box select those. Where do you go again? Shift D. Down here. Shift D. So I'll be making a wall that's coming out at this point. So let's grab that again. Shift D. We'll come out to about there, and let's back up here. F. F. I'll just take this now. Shift D. Pull it to here. Shift D. Pull it to here. And then we'll start working back. Shift D. I want this one to line up with this one here. So in the X, hold Control and the vertex. Shift D. This one I need to line up with this one. And it should be lined up already with that one there. Okay. Missing anything? Let's go back into object mode and just have a look. So I've made this opening already. I want that to be all the way through my walls, and I will cut open a little window. I will cut an area here in the weapon storage where you would get your guns and ammo. I'll cut something there, and I've got that. Okay, so I'm going to go back into edit mode and select everything. I can press E to extrude, and I'm just going to start pulling up. So this is why I wanted to make sure my walls are not too thick, and I think they're okay. So I'm going to come up to about there. No, come all the way up. Yeah, I don't want to do this. I think here's what I'll do. Let's have a look at I don't know. Yeah, I think we'll just come up a ways, and then we'll cut through it. Let's go ahead and turn on the cavity shader and shadow. This little area here is a bit unnecessary because I'm probably going to be taking my shots looking from around, there. Or maybe I'll keep it come down to the floor. I'm not sure I'll do anything with that area, but that's okay. See that opening there? That's okay. Yeah, so let's go ahead and go into edit mode, and I'm going to do Control R and click and let it just land wherever. And that's going to put an edge all the way around on the inside and the outside, but not in this room. And so I'm just going to do another one right there, just anywhere, wherever it lands. And then what I'll do is in face selection, number 3, I'm going to Shift Alt and click somewhere like that. And I'm going to get that, and I'm going to Shift Alt and click there. And I think right now I'm going to press P and separate by selection. So I've got that as a separate piece. I'm going to come over here to the object data properties and a viewport display. And I'm going to choose like a bluish kind of color. And then come over here and choose, let's see, an object. And yeah, I'm going to do that for the moment. Let's take the whole thing though, and GZ, pull it a little bit closer to the floor. And I can still see my diagram through that. Okay, cool. Now it's time to make some cutaways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and lay down an edge loop and just make sure it's gone through. Yes, it has. And Control B. And now I'm just going to wing it, whatever I want to do. So imagine, the police officer comes through here and then orders the weapon that he wants there, or she. So I'm going to delete those faces, and then I'm going to rebuild this. I'm going to press F to make a face. Select those edges, F to make a face. Now let me come down to this one here, and I'm just going to do F to make a face there too. So I have that, and I'll come back in, and I'm going to do another one right there. Okay, same thing. The edges, F to make a face. The edges, F to make a face, and do this on that bottom section. Now, okay, so I got that there, and then we do a window here, and let's see. Nice big long window, and I think I will go ahead and I will add another edge loop there, and Control B, split it like that, and then I'll select this face in face selection. I'll hold down Shift, select that one, Control E, bridge edge loops. So I have that. And how am I doing? I think that's probably pretty good. Let's try taking this in number 3, face selection, Shift Alt and click there, Shift D. Let's scale that in just a little bit. P to break it out. Oh, where am I? Right, did I get that? Yeah, okay. And let's see. Didn't really need to scale like that. Let's scale it actually back out. Let's scale this in the X a little bit. And then E and Alt S, and I'm going to, what am I going to do? I guess I'm going to push up to make a frame like that. Just Alt N, recalculate outside. I'll be checking my polys a bit. I think that's just S to make sure that it's covering. What am I doing? Now, sometimes I want to round these. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I'm going to select the edges and see if I like that. I'm not sure if I'm going to. Just look from, I don't know, from there. Control B and just see if I want those. I usually would put in, let's see, that's like 2 edges, 1, 2, 3. Geez, I don't know. I think I'm probably going to do it, so I'm going to select the inner and outer edge as both sides, and Control B. I don't know, I just have a tendency to do that kind of thing. That's good enough for the moment. I don't know that I'll be naming everything, but I could just do that. And then I could come over here, and I could, under again object properties and viewport, I could just make it like, it's kind of like a dark brown, so it looks a little bit like wood. Alright, so let's come over here. I'll show you what I was thinking of doing. I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to select that face. And okay, that one has a cut, doesn't really matter. Just to get my 3D cursor there. Okay, and I'm going to bring in a plane, and I'll rotate Y90 and scale it down, and just start getting it the way I want it. I'm going to scale this in the Z, and then in the Y, and just sort of touch there. And what I really want is an area underneath that, you can hand stuff through. Pull that up a bit. I'm going to do something up top there. So then I'm going to split this. I want to subdivide this and just make it a little bit more even, like kind of like that. There, they're almost big squares now. So I'll just select the whole thing and then right click, subdivide, and come down here and just start subdividing it until I have, something like that. I don't want them too small or too big. With it selected, I'm going to press Control F, poke faces, and then Control F again, and it tries to quads. So I have this shape. Let's save that. And then I'll come over to the modifiers, and I'm going to scroll down to wireframe and just make this smaller. I'm going the wrong way. Like something like that. Now, if I also add bevel, I often like that better. It'll up my poly count, but I don't really care that much. So I might go ahead and stick with that. I might settle on a number. And we'll see. Anyhow, with that done, I'm going to press Shift A, mesh. I'll bring in a plane and make like a piece of wood that would go on top, but a little bit wider than that. Let's see if I make it bigger. Does that look better? Let's just try it. It should come out. Let's do that the same color as this. So object data properties, I'll click on that and click in the hex and Control C to copy it. And then let's come over here and in the hex area, Control V and enter. Alright, something like that. And then I was thinking we could take one of these. Now, am I going to be beveling these? I think I am, and so I'm going to do this. I'll put one. I don't know if that's enough. But I'm going to do that. I'm just going to do this. I should be using the bevel modifier. Okay. Control, I want to copy this. Shift D, copy that down. And I'm going to scale this in the Z. I want to bring this out as a ledge. You know, just lean on that and then get your weapon make. And really, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to Control L and then push it back a little way so there's a little bit of room on both sides. And that's okay. So, okay. And then we'll take this again, come in here and Control L, Shift D, and let's rotate X 90 and actually rotate Z 90. And push this down maybe. Let's try this and see if we like it. Not necessarily going to get rid of those, I don't know at this point. Okay, thing like that. Now I'm going to take the same thing, I think, and we'll try and see how well it'll fit over here as well. Oh, I'm just going to SX just a tiny bit. Is that what I want? Yeah. Okay. So we'll have that. All right. So far, so good, I think. We really need to make something with a bit more scale. A chair. To get the sense of whether or not my scale is actually working. So I'm going to make a chair, and here I've just got circles and squares. Those would represent different styles of chairs. I'm going to build a chair actually back here. Let's look from the top, and I'm going to just click my 3D cursor there and come back here. So I'm just going to build there, and let's do this and see if I'm on the right track with my sizing. Okay. I'm not necessarily doing it to the size of those lockers, although those might be a bit of a guide. I'm going to rotate X90. I'm going to look from the front and figure, I think it's probably going to come up to around there. I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to grab that edge at S and scale it in like that. And I'm pull this down a little bit more. And then I'm going to extrude back, or extrude out, no less, scale a little bit. I'm going to take this edge and I'm going to pull it back just a little bit. And obviously it's not going to be that high off the ground. Make it a bit bigger. And pull it down. Alright, let's say I go for something like that. Alright, let's try solidify for this. And just start pulling this. I'll click on even thickness. See how it's looking. Something like that. I might go for that. Let's see if let's focus just on that. If I come in and I grab an edge selection, number 2, just this edge, and I bevel, Control B, pull, 1, 2, 3. Let's say, how many seconds here? 1, 2, 3. It's probably okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to apply that in object mode. And I'm going to come around and I'm going to select the edges and I'm going to bevel them. So these sort of vertical edges, I guess you would call them. Control B, make it nice and round, and then Shift Alt and click all the way around, making sure we get this curved area here. And same thing on the back. So we're going to bevel all the way around it. There we go. Give a look from the side and Control B, pull, all shade smooth. Let's bring everything back. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. We'll probably go back and forth with this chair a bit. Let's start with that. Let's just focus on that again. And I'm going to bring in another plane. I'm going to look from the side and pull it up. Rotate Y90. Actually, I don't need it up. Scale it. And what I'm going to do is press 1. And I'm going to be looking at these two vertices. We can actually, well, I can spread these out because I'm going to use this to make the chair legs like this. And I guess I want them splayed out like that. So I'm going to select that edge and we'll delete the edge. And you can see what we've got. So I'm just going to get this and adjust it to where I want it. And I'm going to select these two vertices. Shift Control B, not just Control B, and pull. And I want 5 vertices in there. And I'm going to just do this. Okay. Object, convert to curve. Come over to the curves. Where'd the curves go? Why did that not work? Maybe. There we go. Under geometry, under bevel, and then just pull that up till you get the size that you would want for that leg. Okay, I'm going to pull this out. 3D cursor still right there in the middle. I'm going to set the origin of the 3D cursor so that I can mirror this. Let's bring everything else back. So the legs look a little bit too long for this. And I can just select those vertices and just look at this and start pulling them up. Okay, so now the whole thing is like this, and now they do have to be longer. So just fiddling around with this thing until you get to what you want. Something like that. I'm going to select this and this M, move to collection. I'm going to call this chair 1 maybe. And we'll focus this on that again. And let's, 3 cursors right there, that's fine. Let's make some feet for this thing. So bring in a circle. I'll just go for 18 vertices. Extrude it up. Scale it in a bit. I have to make a face. I don't need to do any more than that. And down here, just I think just have to make a face. And then I'll just bevel the edges like this. I don't even know if I need to do the bottom. Like 3. And shade smooth. And just position this. And then yeah, like that. Make sure the origin is the 3D cursor and mirror this. And I don't think I can mirror it to the back. It won't be right. So we'll just take this and Shift D, pull it back till it looks okay, like that. Just make sure that's in chair. Oh, I have to bring everything back first. We'll put that in chair. And let's just hide that for the moment. Okay, so I've got chair. That's got, no, didn't have those ones. Move to chair 1. Okay, so there it is. And then do something like in the object properties, choose like a red color or I don't know, whatever, something like that maybe. And those could stay like that for now. And then these make like just dark and make like black. And then I guess if you want the exact one, again the hex, Control C and Control V, enter. And then my chair, and then it just is that the right size. That's the hardest part. Okay. Make it more red. Okay, so we can populate this with the various chairs. That chair will not stay in that position. All right. I will, however, have a couple of chairs in this interrogation room. We'll have some lockers back here. So that's a good start to this anyhow. So let's just leave it at that point, and we'll come back in part 2, and I'm just going to model a whole bunch of items following this graphic right here. Okay, we'll put a chair in some chairs in the interrogation room, the table and the cork board, you know, with all the evidence and stuff. We'll do some lockers, we'll do a phone here, we'll do some lights above, a desk here with some chairs in this waiting area, I guess, as people get signed in and then they go into the interrogation room or whatever. And we'll do some stuff over here for the shooting range. We'll do some cabinets in here and some rifles on the wall or something like that. And then when I take my shot, like I say, I can either do it sort of isometric like that, or I can even come down in here on the ground level, and we can have various images from different vantage points. Okay, so that's it for part 1. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and comment if you feel like that, and subscribe and come on back for the other parts in the series. Take care.